I'll be back. Hey everybody, this is 22 Tiger Dude here, and I'm here to review Terminator Genisys. So, Terminator Genisys is the 5th installment in the Terminator franchise. I know they say it's a reboot, but I still think it's a sequel. It feels more like a sequel than it does a reboot. So Terminator Genisys is directed by Alan Taylor, the same director of Thor: The Dark World. And this film does have the talents of Arnold Schwarzenegger, Emilia Clarke, Jason Clarke, and Courtney. So Terminator Genisys takes place in this world where John Connor is now the leader of the resistance for this futuristic post-apocalyptic world, and he sends Kyle Reese to go save Sarah Connor and to alternate the timelines in order to stop Judgment Day from ever happening, as well as the events from the first movie. So going into Terminator Genisys, I was really not looking forward to this movie. I thought this movie looked like a piece of shit. The trailers looked terrible. I was not looking forward to this movie at all, and I just questioned, why was this movie even made? So I was like dreading it. I really thought it was going to be one of the worst movies of the year, because the Terminator, really good movie, awesome movie. Judgment Day, better than the first movie, one of the best action movies ever made, by far the best in the franchise. I love Terminator 2 Judgment Day. Terminator 3, however, was the opposite of Judgment Day. It sucked ass. It was terrible. It was just so stupid. Salvation, I don't really remember much of that movie. I think I remember finding it to be mediocre, okay at best. But now that I've seen the movie, I'm actually surprised to say I liked Terminator Genisys. Yeah, that's right, I said it. I liked Terminator Genisys. You want to talk about a surprise? That was a curveball I did not expect. So, of course, the first thing I talk about in Terminator Genisys is by far Arnold Schwarzenegger. How can I not start off this review by mentioning that guy? Because Arnold Schwarzenegger, he is the Terminator. It's really hard to imagine how anyone can replace this guy as the Terminator, the T-1000 at this point, because Arnold Schwarzenegger, he's great here, and he brings back that energy he brought back from the first two films, except he's actually more comedic here, in which that really surprised me, but it worked so well, and it gave that nice light-hearted tone to Terminator Genisys. Emilia Clarke, I actually thought she was really great as Sarah Connor too, and I really liked her because she does represent the badassery this character is, you know, with what Linda Hamilton presented with the second movie especially. You know, she does present what Linda Hamilton captured, but there's also this heart to this character. Now, I can see why fans of at least the first two movies could be so offended by pretty much this movie erasing the first two movies. Like, you do think about that and you're all like, why? And surprisingly, that didn't bug me. I actually thought that was cool, how it would alternate the timelines from the first two movies, especially from the first movie. I actually thought that was really cool. But yes, I could see how people would really despise seeing that, because, you know, the first two movies are such classics. This film does try to be creative. In fact, I think Terminator Genisys is actually the third best Terminator in the franchise. Of course, it's not as good as the Terminator, or especially Terminator Judgment Day, most definitely, but for its own right, Terminator Genisys at least tries to do something very creative and honestly pretty refreshing for this franchise, because like I said, I came into this movie just pretty much getting ready to hate it, but it did something so creative that I just can't help but actually really give huge credit to this movie. The action sequences in the movie were very well filmed. They were pretty exciting. There were a lot of nice wide shots during the action scenes. I was able to see nicely of what was going on. Alan Taylor's direction was really solid here. The script was good as well, and I actually did think the pacing for the movie was very well done. I also do want to mention that I really like J.K. Simmons here. I thought he did a very good job for the small role that he had. I thought he delivered a very interesting performance, and I thought for the character that he had, he made his character very interesting. So, of course, it's always good to see J.K. Simmons, and I think the cinematography as a whole in this film was very well shot as well. But my flaws with Terminator Genisys, I have to say, is that Courtney, he was pretty average here. He does what he could with the role, but the problem is that he just acts way too wooden, and he just doesn't add as much of a personality as Emilia Clarke and Arnold Schwarzenegger do. How this movie opened, you're supposed to feel emotion when this movie opens, and it just kind of forces down your throat, and it just didn't really work. The T-1000 character was really cool, and it was really cool to see him during the action set pieces, but I felt like the character himself just wasn't really explored enough, and it was a wasted opportunity not having that character explored much more. I do think the romance between Kyle Reese and Sarah Connor did feel pretty forced for the storyline. You just can't really... they have chemistry, I do like their chemistry. It was just their overall romance that I did feel didn't click well for the storyline, like with the original movies. And the final flaw I will say is that Jason Clarke's performance was really wasted here. He was very disappointing. And the twist, there's a spoiler in the trailer. I'm not going to say what the twist is for those that haven't seen the trailer, but the twist did feel very shoehorned, and that really didn't work out well either. It didn't really hurt my enjoyment of the movie or anything, but I did sit there going, yeah, I could have watched this movie without that twist happening. Overall, guys, I think Terminator Genisys is a really good movie, though. I really enjoyed this movie. I had a lot of fun watching it. So I am going to indeed give Terminator Genisys 3 out of 4 stars. So you guys, in the comments down below, let me know, what did you think of Terminator Genisys? And also, you guys, I did get to go on Mark Krawczyk's channel to spoil and discuss Terminator Genisys. So if you guys want to check out that podcast, I will leave a link in the description below. This is 22 Tiger Dude here, and don't forget that I will always have Tiger Power!